So the authors will have to double check, triple check, even quadruple check their story if if AI has helped write it and it's AI driven. Like the author themselves are still going to have to edit and read each and every line to ensure that it's a high quality novel. And why would they even bother if they can just keep printing out stories? And it's like they would bother because they're putting their name on it as the author. So if if it's just junk, if it's if what they're publishing is junk, then people are going to know them as a junk author. Like, and they're not going to read your stuff. They're not going to care about your stuff. Even when you write something serious and put effort into it, people aren't going to believe it because you've generated hundreds of crappy stories. And I'm not really worried about it for In Your Head Productions either. I'm not really worried about it for that because our staff will be checking every story that's going to go through us and whether they do the proper publishing things, and then there's a process, and if that is popular enough, then the movie gets made. So it will ensure that In Your Head Productions is also making quality stuff. That they're not just we're not just willy-nilly accepting everything and just going on that. So I'm not really worried about the AI stuff. If it helps and it enhances the story, that's amazing. That's what we want. That's what the AI was designed to do. So yeah, we move into movies, and then once that it sort of becomes a franchise, we can start thinking about toys. Toys, toys, yes, toys from the movie and the book and the movie or the series. I did mention that there would be a toy department or a toy section in the store. So that now we're getting to how those toys are going to get there. As it's gone through this entire, but now we can design toys based on, and not just random like or crappy quality toys. I'm talking like nice toys, like little robots that like move around and like they talk and they say things and like based on the characters from the movie and the book. So that would be cool to have as well, like, so that we can help creators reach the widest audience that they possibly can. And finally, from the toys, from book to movie or series, movie slash series, to toys, now we can start to think about, can we make a game out of this? Can is this world a design? Because not all books and not all movies were designed to be games, and they should be left alone, and they shouldn't be. But we can look at it. That's why I'm mentioning this last, because it's an optional thing. It depends. Is the world created? Does it have enough substance to be a game? Does it have enough appeal? Would people want a game based on this? Is what we'll have to ask ourselves. And if it checks all the boxes, then yes, we make a game about it and create a world based on it. So we covered a lot of forms of entertainment there, from books, from text to movie series to toys to games. But what about music? Where is the music industry going? Now, especially with even some AI songs briefly appearing in charts and billboards and things like that. Where is music going? And my opinions on this are quite controversial, but it's just how I feel. And if the music's good, it's good. Like, I have no problem whether it's AI or whether it's a real artist. But what about the artists? What about the suffering artists? And I'm like, the artists need to step up their game, make a good song. If the song's good, it will be popular. You'll just have to read the trends and know how to make popular music. It's like, but the standards of music will go down. How can you support AI music? I'll support it because it forces artists to actually make good songs. No more can they just release any junk and just slap an album title on it and then give it to the public, and now that it's just their fans who bought it, pretty much, like their fans who love their old music, thinking that they're going to get a good album or good music. Now they just get junk. It forces artists to create something good and decent, at least, to stay popular and to stay relevant for their career. So, yeah, I'm all for AI in music, especially if it pushes artists to be to make the best they can. What do you mean junk? That they release junk? Some artists nowadays, they just make any old junk and they release it to the public like it's a song, just to grab cash from the fans who listen without even they recognize the name of the artist. They don't, and they just sort of listen based on that, but they aren't satisfied with what they hear. They just, because some artists are just releasing junk. Name names. I'm not going to name names here. I'm not singling anybody out. I'm just saying that if artists are going to keep doing that, then there's millions of AI junk songs getting released every day, which some of them are actually competing with the junk you're releasing. So, like, it doesn't really. I don't really feel anything for that. Like, I'm like, yes, actually good on AI for doing that. But why am I so calm and nonchalant about AI creating so much content or so much music? It's releasing millions of songs every day, like nearly now. Why am I not really worried about it? And I'm like, because most of those songs, or not most, a lot of those songs will have an in your head or in my head reference or something about a head somewhere, and that helps promote the company. So I'm not really too concerned about that, whether it's a real artist releasing or whether it's an AI artist. It still promotes the company nonetheless, which is why I love this company. I love its name, because any products that interact with it or that enhance In Your Head Productions, In Your Head Productions comes back with also, it enhances the product as well. So let us move the topic of conversation to schooling or schools, which is a boring subject for most people, but hopefully a little less boring if you introduce In Your Head Productions to those institutions. And by schools, I mean elementary school, primary school, to high school, to university. Those types of institutions, how do we approach it from In Your Head Productions? And when I looked at it, I debated, or I'm still debating in my mind, do we create a virtual platform for schooling, a digital platform, or do we actually build the buildings and have actual schools that one would attend? So yes, I mean, many years or decades ago, if I asked myself that question, it would be obvious. Oh no, we need to build schools. We need to build the buildings and then have schools, like an In Your Head academy that children could attend. But now, in the age of 2025 or the 21st century, now options become available, like, do we create a virtual platform that children can attend from their homes or from wherever, even traveling, and a sort of mobile school that is universal and applies to many different locations or countries or borders. So that I'm still debating, and it's about which one would be simpler